There's an old expression, it's Frank Sinatra's world, we just live in it. A lot of people are going to be remembering that expression in 3 days because Saturday represents the 105th anniversary of Old Blue Eye's birth. What you may not know is that two of Sinatra's favorite songs and biggest hits were written by a woman from Toronto who's the subject of a new book called Until I Smile at You, How One Girl's Heartbreak Electrified Frank Sinatra's Fame. And it brings its author, Peter Jennings, to our virtual studio from Midland, Ontario, on the southeastern tip of Georgian Bay. Peter, it's great to have you with us tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Steve, and thank you very much for having me on the agenda. I must tell you, it's one of my favorite shows.
I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you. Well, start by taking us back. We're going back more than 80 years right now to a young woman in Toronto by the name of Ruth Lowenthal, as she then was, who fancied herself a songwriter. How did she get into that?
Well, her father was quite musical, and so they always had a piano in the house. And Ruth was, Steve, she was a natural-born talent. Both she and her sister Muriel played the piano a bit, but Muriel stopped. Ruth kept going, and eventually worked in music stores in Toronto, where she would play songs, sheet music, and that sort of thing. And so she was a natural talent. And then in 1936, Ina Ray Hutton, who had a famous band called, wait for it, the Melodiers, which I love. It was an all-female band, and they were traveling through the U.S., and they were coming to Toronto for a one-night stand, and Ina Ray's piano player took sick. So Ina Ray Hutton calls Toronto and says, I need to audition all the good-looking blonde piano players you've got, and by the way, she can arrange, that would be a bonus. Make a long story short, Ruth auditions, she gets the gig, she plays the Toronto show. Ina Ray is so impressed, she says, join our band. And so for the next 2 years, Ruth Lowe toured around the U.S. and bits of Canada playing with the Melodiers.
Now
that's really how she got going.
Yeah, that's the happy part of the story, but it's punctuated by some tragedy as well. She lost her father to suicide along the way. And then in 1939, she's married, she's in love, and what happens to her husband, Harold?
She is married Harold Cohen, who's a very handsome song plugger. You're right, they're young, in love, they're planning a family. Harold goes into the hospital in Chicago for what's supposed to be a routine operation, but he dies on the operating table. And Ruth is just devastated. She's pulled apart. She's in so much grief. She goes back home to Toronto, where she moves in with her mother, Pearl, and her sister, Muriel, or Mickey, the friends. And she just sits there staring out the window, just full of grief. And I actually talked to Mickey. She died, sadly, earlier this year, in her 100th year. But she told me, she said, Peter, one day, Ruthie just looked at me and said, Mickey, I'll never smile again. And Mickey told me that night the song just poured out of her soul, the words music. She wrote the song literally in a night.
And that became this. Sheldon, if you would, please.
Within my heart, I know I will never stop to smile again until I smile at you. Until I smile at you.
Who's the boy singer there, Peter?
That would be Frankie.
It sure would be. Who's the guy on the trombone?
That'd be Tommy Dorsey.
How did he get a hold of the song?
Well, what happened was Ruth began work at the CBC, and Percy Faith was working at the CBC in those days, and he had a show called Music by Faith. And one day he walked by Ruthie's office, and she's playing the piano, she's singing the song, and he's going, hey, what is that? I like it. May I record it tonight on my show? So he does up a marvelous arrangement with, strings and horns and a singer, and it goes out in the CBC long before Tommy Dorsey or Frank Sinatra ever heard of it. But what happens is he presents Ruth with a record of that song. She gets it to a friend of hers who's connected to Dorsey. Dorsey listens to it, loves the song, eventually hires Sinatra. And in May of 1940, they went into the RCA Victor studio in New York City and recorded the song, and hearts went aflutter around the world. There have been, I think, over 150 people have recorded the song since then.
And here's what somebody named Nancy Sinatra, whom you quote in the book, thinks about it. There's a reason why I'll Never Smile Again has endured. It was a perfect song, interpreted by the perfect singer at the perfect time. It was a meeting of honesty, the fundamental quality my dad possessed, and the heartfelt plaintive cry of a young grieving widow. Ruth's lyrics bespoke vulnerability, and as America became immersed in the war, they became deeply meaningful to millions of girls on the home front. Peter, this song went to #1 for 12 weeks. It was Tommy Dorsey's biggest hit ever. It was selected in 1958 as one of the best pop songs of all time. I have a bit of an odd question here, which is, do you know how Ruth dealt with the fact that her greatest professional success came out of the worst misery she could imagine?
It's a great question, Steve. She was a very positive person. And notwithstanding the fact she was consumed by grief for so long after Harold died, once she realized that she had a hit tune, she went down to New York City at Tommy Dorsey's request, and she was down there for about 3 years and wrote, up to 50 different tunes for Broadway and Hollywood. And of course, she wrote Sinatra's theme song, Put Your Dreams Away. But and funny enough, one of the questions I had in writing the book was, if you consider the other songs of 1940, the competitors, if you will, they're all up-tempo beat, from Hollywood and Broadway. I love you and life's grand and all that sort of thing, and designed to put people on the dance floor. That's what the orchestras were for. And I thought to myself, how did this almost dirge-like, slow ballad overtake all these other songs, Pennsylvania 65000 and all these songs, and become #1, as you said, on Billboard for 12 weeks, setting all sorts of records? And so to get an answer for that, I talked to a number of pretty well-known songwriters, people like Bernie Taupin. Bernie's written lyrics for Sir Elton John for 50 years. Sir Tim Rice, who writes lyrics for Andrew Lloyd Webber. Alan Bergman, who's written songs for Barbra Streisand and Sinatra himself. And many other people. And I asked them, how did this happen? And basically, they were all in awe of Ruth and her ability to write beautiful songs. They basically said talent always shines through. And that's why the song was such a hit.
But there's no question the connection with World War II had a huge amount to do with it, right? There were so many widows whose husbands were not coming home from fighting overseas, right, and they thought they'd never smile again either, I bet.
Yes, exactly. And in fact, there was a rumor that Ruth, in fact, had lost her husband flying in a mission overseas. Of course, that didn't happen. Nor was she American. She was, in fact, Canadian. But this rumor got out there for some time. But you're absolutely right. It was a time of war, looming war, and people were worried about losing their loved ones. So it really connected.
Peter, I think your next mission in life has got to be to contact Barbra Streisand or Lady Gaga and get them to record it. Because I know 150 other artists have done it, but they would absolutely lift it off the page like no one else. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea, and I'm on that, Steve. I'll do it. I think Lady Gaga, who did that beautiful album with Tony Bennett, I mean, she would nail it for sure.
Absolutely.
And of course, Barbra Streisand just never goes wrong.
Well,
I'm on it, man.
Good. I'm glad you're on that one next. When Frank Sinatra was buried in 1998, the last song played at his funeral, we should tell people, was not My Way. It was not New York, New York. It was this. Sheldon, over to you.
Put your dreams away for another day, and I will take their place in your heart, wishing on a star never got you far. And so it's time to make a new start when your dreams at night.
His voice, her talent, what a combination. What's the genesis of that song, please, Peter?
Well, it's actually quite a funny story, Steve, and I do recount that in the book Until I Smile at You. Basically, it's 1943, and oh, by the way, I tracked down Lindy Kahn in Houston, Texas. She is the daughter of Paul Mann, who co-wrote the music for this song with his songwriting buddy, Stefan Weiss. And we kind of pulled together what happened. It's 1943. Ruth answers the phone, and it's Sinatra. He says, "Hey, doll, I need you to write me a song." And she says, "A song, Frankie? What do you want?" He says, "Well, CBS is giving me my own radio show." And you can practically see his chest bursting with pride at this. And he said, "I need a song that's going to start or end each show. It'll be kind of my theme song." And she goes, "Okay, Frank, what are you thinking of for the mood?" He goes, "The mood. Well, I don't know, Ruth. You'll come up with something. I don't know, maybe because it's going to be on at night. Maybe it'll be the last song we play, and we'd say 'Sweet Dreams' might be something like that." And she goes, "Okay, all right. Well, listen, Frankie, let me play around with it. I'll get back to you in a few days." And he said, "Ooh, that's a problem." "A problem, Frankie?" "Yeah, I need the song tomorrow." And she goes, "What, tomorrow? I can't write a song tomorrow." And he says, "Oh, sure you can. You're good at this, babe. You told me you wrote on Let It Smile again overnight." And she goes, "Yeah, but Frankie, that was different." And he goes, "Okay, I got to go. There's so much to do. Call me tomorrow, Ruthie. Bye." And hangs up. And she's sitting there going, how the hell am I going to write a song overnight for, it's going to be heard by millions of people, for the biggest talent in the world at this point? So what she does, she's a smart lady. She calls her friends Paul Mann and Stefan Weiss, a songwriting duo she knows from the drill building in New York. And these guys write songs, and some of them work, some of them don't. And when something doesn't work, they kind of put it on the shelf as maybe a half-finished song. So she calls them up, explains her situation. They laugh at her, and she says, "Guys, you got to help me. You got a half-written piece of music." And they say, "Well, we've got something we've been playing with." So make a long story short, the three of them pull an all-nighter, and at noon the next day, Ruthie calls Frank. She puts the phone down the piano, and she sings and plays the song, "Put Your Dreams Away." And there's nothing. She goes, "Frankie," and she goes, "He hates it." And he goes, "I love it. It's the best song I've ever heard. Play it again." And that night it goes on the air on CBS and becomes his theme song. And Steve, as you said, the very last song played at his funeral in 1998.
Unbelievable. Well, we should point out at this point that Ruth does remarry. And
Yes.
one of the products of her second marriage is a young kid named Tommy Sandler. And people around this town may know Tom Sandler as a fantastic photographer who is really the keeper of the flame of the Ruth Lowe story. And
Sure is.
I remember he was on this program a few years ago, and I remember asking him, do you think Frank ever hit on your mother? And Tom's answer to me, Peter, was, "Well, I do have blue eyes, don't I?"
I know.
Okay, I'm not going there, but tell us how Tommy has kept his mother's legacy alive all these years.
Well, he has. And Tommy, by the way, was named by his mom after Tommy Dorsey. How cool is that? Yeah, he has. He's been doing his best. She was given an Oscar. She has been inducted into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. She's going to be inducted into the American Songbook Hall of Fame. And Tom has been, he reveres his mother. And so he's been keeping her name alive. And, you know, Steve, I know you're aware of this because you've written about it. Why isn't Ruth Lowe in the Canadian not Hall of Fame, the Walk of Fame? Why isn't there an award named after her in the Junos? You know, the U.S. does such a great job of honoring their heroes. And here in Canada, we don't seem to do that as well. Tom's been very big about getting his mom's renowned, known, and darn it, it should be. She was an enduring musical star of the the 20th century.
Well, Ruth Lowe died on January 4th, 1981. She had a 10-year fight with cancer. That's 40 years ago next month that she died. 40 years ago already. She was only 66 years old. Sheldon, why don't we bring up that picture here? Her final resting place, there it is. Look at that beautiful treble clef on her headstone.
Tommy had that put there, by the way.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That is really beautiful. She also, I know Tommy says, he's so glad that you wrote this book because he wants his mother's legacy to remain. He doesn't want her story forgotten. And one of the ways it's happening, Sheldon, let's bring up the next picture here. This is Ruth Lowe's great-granddaughter, Allie, who did a school project on her great-grandmother. How great is that? And
she got an A, by the way.
And she got what, sorry?
She got an A for a mark on the project.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, as she should have. But take us down the road there. She has been so honored in the United States, but not so much in Canada. I presume part of the reason you wrote this book is to change that?
Steve, I hope so. It was an honor for me to be selected by Tom to write the book. It truly was an honor, and because I'm a huge fan of Ruth Lowe and the contribution she made to music around the world. So to be selected to write "Until I Smile at You" was a great honor, and yes, I hope the book will help to keep her name on high. It will help to get her into the Walk of Fame, and let's get a Juno Award named after her. I mean, we need to revere these incredible stars like Ruth Lowe.
Amen to that. Peter Jennings has written "Until I Smile at You, How One Girl's Heartbreak Electrified Frank Sinatra's Fame." Peter, it's awfully good of you to spend some time with us here on TVO tonight. Thanks so much.
Steve, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it very much.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario. CPA Ontario is a regulator, an educator, a thought leader, and an advocate. We protect the public. We advance our profession. We guide our CPAs. We are CPA Ontario. And by viewers like you. Thank you.